Now that we've set up our turtle and background, let's return to the game screen and instantiate them as variables. Let's create a private var turtle, which will be our turtle class. Private var parallax, which will be our cparallax background class. And a private var background image, which will just be a bitmap. Next, in our init function, we'll get our background. We can insert this before the creation of our layers. Background image equals assetsmanager.getImage bg inside of our embedded assets atlas. And of course, we're just having a static background image because this isn't going to move with our parallax layers. This is going to be the very backmost background image. And we're going to set up our parallax background layers. Parallax equals new cparallax background. Game settings dot game speed. And let's create that game speed variable now in our game settings class. Public static var game speed number equals 19. And of course, with all of the game settings, you can adjust them to fit your liking. That's why we've included them all in one easy to find game settings class. Let's submit our parallax background layers. So const top, which is going to be a bitmap, and we're going to get the top image in our assets atlas sprite sheet using Gingy's assets manager. And we're going to submit into our parallax variable. Similarly, an image from our assets atlas sprite sheet called mid. And of course, these labels can be found in the XML file that comes with your sprite sheet. And we're going to make this one of the type bottom, so it's aligned to the bottom of the stage. Similarly, we're going to do the same for our bottom image inside of our assets atlas, and we're going to submit on top of everything our top image from our assets atlas. I've just separated the top into two stages, so I'm submitting a variable, and I've skipped that stage with the mid and bottom images. Now let's reference our bottom line setting in our game settings class, and we're going to set it to equal GUI module settings.stageheight minus top.height times 0.9, just for a bit of a buffer. This will set the bottom line that the turtle can hit. And don't forget to invoke build in our parallax variable. Next, let's create our turtle. Underscore turtle equals new turtle. This is the context that we're passing through, if you remember, and strike is the strike function that we're passing through. Let's go ahead and create that strike function. For now, inside of our strike function, let's only include an operation that removes our buttons from the screen. So every time our turtle strikes an obstacle, or it strikes the bottom of the screen, we're going to remove the existing buttons. We'll fill it out more later on. Next, before we add our game layer to our stage, we'll add our parallax variable and our turtle to the game layer. Game layer add child parallax, and of course game layer add child turtle. Great. Now in our pause and on play functions, we're going to want to pause and start our turtle and parallax background. In our on play function, let's simply refer to another function called play, just for cleanliness sake. Inside that function, let's do the following. Let's ignite the turtle and background. Animator.submit animation underscore turtle and turtle.play animation. And if you remember, this just means that our advanced function will ignite. Let's also submit our parallax animation. And let's register an event listener to listen for our mouse click, and that will invoke a makeSwim function. And in our pause function, let's call a function called pauseElements. Again, for cleanliness sake. And here we're going to pause our turtle and pause our background. So animator.remove animation turtle. And animator.remove animation parallax. Of course, we'll also have to remove our event listener that listens for the mouse clicks. Stage events manager, unregister stage click, makeSwim. Finally, let's create that makeSwim function. All it needs to do is redirect to our turtleSwim function, which we've already created in our turtle class. So turtle.swim. Now we can do a bit of housekeeping to organize everything a bit better. Let's create two functions, stop and reset items. In our stop function, we'll invoke our pauseElements function, which will prevent our elements from moving, and we'll stop our turtle animation. So pauseElements and turtle.stop animation. We can call the stop function anywhere we want our game to stop. So let's invoke it from within our strike function, which is to say that every time our turtle strikes an object, it will be game over and the game will stop. And we'll put it into our clear function. Let's create our reset items function now, where we'll set the position of our turtle on the screen. And our turtle's alignment we'll set to stage middle in terms of its vertical alignment. And we'll set its X position as scaling factors get scale num 300. As you might have guessed, we'll call this reset items function from our overridden reset function. We can also set our background image again here as a reset for the static background. Your reset function should look something like this. Super.reset and Jinji GUI module set background image and reset items. Thank you for watching.